Well, it's about time we talked about that damn magical racism in the Ponyverse. I mean, don't you guys remember the civil rights movement of the Changelings? You don't remember the good old fight that Rosa Pupil put on her bus? Or how scary that Black Changelings group got? What about Martin Lava King Jr.? We have a proud history of fighting these civil rights in a world where friendship is magic. Oh, who am I kidding? This episode is, well, exactly what you think it's about if you watch like the first 5 minutes of it. There's a changeling who's different from all the other changeling and he just wants to be friends with all the other ponies just because he's black. Don't look at me like that, he's really black.
Fireball, what's the matter?
Get away! Get away from me!
I mean, it's nice to see the Crystal Empire again, and that the abomination, well, that just got scary. But Spike meets a changeling. Changeling is actually a really nice bug named Thorax.
I speak for the trees!
And after listening to Spike defend his case, they accepted him into Pony society. Woo! I mean, the simplicity of the plot seems to hint that this episode was made for a little audience, you know? Something that can be universally understood at this point. But at this point, I might just be making excuses. To be honest, this reminds me of a Star Trek episode where the basic plot is similar. A Borg person is acquired by the ship and Geordi who's like, can we teach it to be human? And it can be my friend? I never had one. Please, Daddy Picard, can I keep it? Except it's much simpler than that. This episode starts with Twilight, Starlight, and Spike on their way to the Crystal Empire, while Spike is hiding from the press. Don't worry, Spike, I do that too sometimes. Bronies can be scary. Anyway, the Crystal Empire itself is scared that that one lone changeling is after baby Jesus over there, and while I've got concerns, I don't really get it. Like, I'm sure everyone can take on one changeling. Like, remember in that one time that they did it? And as luck would have it though, it's Spike who is tasked with finding the changeling, and as more luck would have it, he finds it. Thorax, ladies and gentlemen, woo, he speaks for the changelings. So Thorax is afraid he's not going to be accepted into Pony society, and Spike be like, nah, we got this. Insert trying to sneak a changeling into the castle.
Encountered the enemy requesting backup.
So Crystal Who's and Spike end up getting the throne room, but for the love of Jesus, oh, I guess that ends up working. Okay. Thorax runs off after Brother Spike ain't got his back. God damn, Spike. But Spike ends up apologizing, and one horrible song later,
I made it through the wilderness. Somehow I made it through.
That was horrific, man.
we have our first changeling tolerant castle. Damn ponies, you still racist. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of this episode. On one hand, there's a great amount of lore here, and character potential for changelings as a whole. There are three-dimensional beings that can grow and develop just like the rest of us. Plus, it's nice to know that that spec from the beginning of the season ended up being something. Surprise, surprise, it ended up being something. Plus, Spike isn't too horrible as a supporting character in this one. But this episode is so predictable that I feel like I'm gonna rip my eyes out. Of course these ponies are gonna let Thorax into their lives if he's a nice little dude. I mean, friendship is magic and all that, am I right?
A changeling's been spotted nearby.
A changeling? That's not good.
These monsters can look like any of us.
And they could be anywhere.
Friends with a changeling?
There's no such thing as a nice changeling.
Did you defeat the evil creature?
What are you doing? Get away from that thing!
After it! Don't let the changeling escape!
Just raise it!